actually like it.
Oh, wow! Everybody, write it down. Mark your calendars. This is the day. This is the day. Howdy, Meowers. Welcome back to the BlushCat podcast. My name is Rhiley with an H, and I am here with Devin once again.
Hello, everyone. Do you think people think I'm British?
No.
Okay, sorry. Hello, and I was gonna say love the name, then you said with an H, and now I've insulted everyone whose name is Rhiley, but with an H. But it was unexpected.
Okay.
But it shouldn't have been.
It shouldn't have been, because I'm here and we're discussing February 2025 K-pop comebacks.
Absolutely. Now, there's not as much to discuss today in terms of number of groups, but there's still a lot to discuss here, if you know what I mean.
Right. It doesn't mean that the quality is lacking, just the quantity.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we're going to jump right in. We're going to begin with IVE. And we did already talk about Rebel Heart in our January comebacks episode. So if you want to hear what we thought about that and the promo for that, go listen to that episode, please and thank you. So we're going to be discussing Attitude and anything that we have to say on their third EP, IVE Empathy. So why don't you go ahead, take it away, talk about Attitude.
Wow, okay. Here we go. So I am going to start by saying I love it. And I'm starting that way because sometimes people don't understand the way that I feel about something if I just start saying the details. They think that I'm being much harsher than I actually am. So I love it.
Okay.
But I will say, like, music video wise, I still love like Ascendio, you know, like it's got a whole thing going on. It's pretty awesome. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. So, like, I know they can't do that for every music video, but you know, when I saw the music video for Attitude, I was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, sure, because the other one was just so awesome. But still, the song and their attitude, you know, everything about that is still so great. So it's fine. Yeah, like their vibes, you know, they're there. I think everyone is giving like the most, like everyone's parts, every time someone, it's like their turn, you know, it's delivering. It's not like, oh, blah, blah, blah is really carrying this song or really shining. I think that they're all really shining here. And at first I was a little hesitant about the styling just because I thought, oh, is it going to be sort of like office-y type vibes the whole time? And it's like not going to be that varied. You know, it's going to be a lot of gray, a lot of, you know, like I was concerned. But they did have some stages that were a little more fun. And the pieces were always still interesting anyway. So I liked that anyway. And then lastly, I'll say it's, you know, a similar vibe concept to Mini Her, but it's very different. And I think that they're both delivering so well. Like both songs are delivering so well for like that vibe and attitude. Like I don't mind that they're like coming out at the same time or anything, you know? Yeah.
That vibe and attitude, wink. I agree a little bit, like sort of with that. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying about the Her similarities, but I'm not seeing it like over the top.
Oh, I just think like I'm Her, and then like I've got that attitude. You know, like they're both like talking themselves up.
Okay,
I guess is all. That's literally like as deep as it goes.
In terms of vibe and like stylistically speaking, I like Rebel Heart more. Okay, I'll just say that. But I have no beef with Attitude. It's great. It's super catchy and it's so much fun on the stages, the performances. You know, we've got so many things that are sort of piled into Attitude, and it has become so many things. Like, Ray's Guinea run, and the fact that they incorporated the Wanyang turn into the choreography. I love that kind of stuff. That's great. So, like, because there are these things, the performances, obviously, we all know at this point, I enjoy IVE performances anyway, but when there's an extra layer, I always say that I like to see people like having fun on stage, or when there's like an inside joke going on. So to have those layers with attitude makes it even more enjoyable. So that's really good for me.
Yeah, I didn't really, like, I thought about it before, but I didn't really think about it, I guess, until you just said it. I think it's extra, like, iconic for them that some of the iconic parts of the song where they're saying, you know, they've got that attitude, they're so great, are like things that they already did. Like, it's not like, it's not just the choreography. It's like, that is them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think that's really great. And I love that they're working with that and that's their concept. Like, I like that their concept is IVE, like, so it's self-reflective, but in different ways each comeback. I don't know. I really like that. And the styling, I never had a problem with it. I always thought it was nice, and I like the way that they changed it for the performances. I really like the day that they had tiaras on some of the members. I thought that was cute. I thought they were doing different things with their hair, which I appreciated. And I really like the choreography. That's one of my favorite parts about Attitude specifically, is the choreography. And yeah, the music video, it's definitely not my favorite just because it has, like, you know, so many extras and it's not super aesthetic. Like, it's not my aesthetic, but I think it's a very well done, very well made music video, as usual with IVE. And I'm not, like, I don't think it's unwatchable or anything like even close to that. It's just not one of my favorite IVE music videos because of the concept. But I do like the attitude in the music video. It's kind of like cake. Itsy cake.
Yeah.
And so I would also just say this is the start of another through line.
Ooh, okay.
Like, in terms of concept that we'll be seeing in some other comebacks that we're talking about today. As for the album, we have some member involvement, which is always nice to see. And we've got Exy back once again, Exy from WJSN, to write the lyrics for one of their songs. So do you have anything specifically to say about any of their B-sides? I think that I know, kind of say, I think I know what one is your favorite if you listened to the album.
I did listen to it once. I don't know if I know which one is my favorite. Like, I didn't know if I liked one of them the best.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
Man, I thought you would have.
I have notes for 3 of them, and they're kind of just like, oh, okay, here's something I thought about it.
Okay.
So we'll see. So Flu, I thought was fun.
I think that, I don't know if fun is how I would describe it, but I think it has a nice essence to it. It reminds me of IU.
Ooh,
and
okay.
she has a song called Flu.
Oh,
so like,
okay.
maybe that's why, but I don't know. It has IU essence.
Maybe it's weird for me to say it's fun when it's called Flu. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about like what the song was about. But okay. You Wanna Cry? I think it sounds like a threat. You wanna cry? I think it sounds like a Disney song. Like a Disney movie song.
Okay, sure.
I don't mean Disney like decom.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
But also I was like, oh my God, this song sounds so much like something. It reminds me so much of something. And then I was like, oh my God, I've got it. It's I want to dance with somebody, whatever that song's called. That's it. And it's supposed to sound like that. It's sampled by that. So I was like, but I was proud of myself that I came up with it by myself. But yeah, so I like that one too. Like I liked all of them. I didn't have any problems with any of them. And then TKO, it is giving Cheetah Girls to me, but like I don't think that that's necessarily, some people might think like, oh, how could you say that? You know, some people might be thinking Cheetah Girls means Disney Channel, means like lower somehow, like lower tier. But no, I think Cheetah Girls was pretty like high tier, you know, like they were delivering. So I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying like sound wise, it's reminding me of Cheetah Girls music.
I think that as well. Like it's obvious to me, isn't it? Like it sounds like Cheetah Girls, and there's nothing bad about that. Like why would there be something bad about that? I think I've said other IVE songs have sounded like Cheetah Girls.
I just am always concerned that if people like, I don't know if people think of Cheetah Girls as like a real group, you know? So if they would be insulted. But they went on tours and stuff, right?
Yeah,
like
I feel like we've talked about people's songs sounding like Cheetah Girls before.
I think maybe this is like people are going to like find my receipts or something. I don't know how to word it, but I think maybe one or two of the times that I said a song sounded like Cheetah Girls, it was not positive.
Okay.
Like sometimes I think it's like, oh, it kind of just sounds like a Cheetah Girls song. Like it would be like oh, I'm dismissing it as just like Cheetah Girls music because I didn't listen to Cheetah Girls, you know?
You didn't listen to Cheetah Girls?
Well, I thought... No, I had one CD, but it was gifted to me.
Okay.
And I definitely listened to it, but like I thought you listened to Cheetah Girls more.
Oh, I probably did then. Like it's just you would talk about...
It's just, I liked one song on one of the CDs, and it's because they said that they could slay their own dragons.
Okay. Yeah, no, I listened to Cheetah Girls. So anyway, I thought TKO would be the one that you said that you liked. Like I thought you would say, oh, I liked this one.
My current brain does not remember any of those songs at all, so I can't say whether that's true or not. But I can say that I do know I liked all of them. So I might have liked it. And because I was prepared to like defend it so hard when I was like, I know I'm saying Cheetah Girls, but I don't mean it as a bad thing. Maybe that means, yeah, I did really like this one.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to say. Like I didn't plan anything really for anything that we're talking about. I didn't plan much as far as comments go, so I don't have anything else specific to say about the songs, but I do want to just say that with this era, I'm very glad that they are getting so many wins and so much recognition. Rebel Heart has like 11 wins or something now, or maybe that's Rebel Heart and Attitude, but I feel like it's just Rebel Heart alone. I don't know, but Attitude has won twice, and Rebel Heart just literally keeps winning, even though they stopped promoting it, and it is kind of making up for Heya and Ascendio not getting like wins, and I really wish that that era got more recognition because both of those things were so good. The song, the music video, well, like, you know, the songs, the music videos, the dances, the styling, everything for Heya and Ascendio was really good. So, you know, it's unfortunate that it didn't pop off as much, I guess you could say, as this era, but I'm glad that we're sort of making up for that. And the encore stages have been really, really good. Once again, I also want to shout out Esau for when she did the solo encore stage, and Gal and Liz when they did their encore stage because they were guest MCs. That was fun. We're going to continue on to our next group that made a comeback on the same day as IVE, and that would be PLAVE. Now, I bet you didn't think, Meowers, that we would be talking about a comeback from PLAVE. At least not now, not yet. Maybe you expected that from us one day. But here we are. We're talking about it. Their title track was Dash. And you've heard us. If you're a Meower, you have heard us mention PLAVE. We referenced Wait for Love. It's come up a couple times. It's kind of like Rise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we know PLAVE, but are we really going to talk about PLAVE? Are we going to check out PLAVE's music and their performances and their content? No, like they're just a group that we know exists, and they show up sometimes and they're really relevant and really, really, really popular. But we're not going to get into that. But here we are. So that can only mean one thing. And the mysterious answer would be stay tuned. And the obvious answer would be PLAVE. PLAVE and BlushCat now are more acquainted.
Rightfully so. We're both living in this same digital universe. Look at us. We're floating cat heads.
Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong. That's very true. So why don't you just,
Can I just say, first and foremost, because it's come to my realization, my attention, that there are still plenty of people out there that have heard of PLAVE, that know PLAVE, but that still don't understand what PLAVE are. So I just want to say real quick, because PLAVE, they are virtual idols. Okay, so if you know what a VTuber is, it's just that. But if you don't understand any of that and you hear AI or you hear computer generated, things like that, PLAVE, they're people, and they just have a computer avatar being like showing their movements. Like they are still people. They are dancing. It's not a computer that is animated a model to dance. The people are dancing and singing. It's not AI generated. I just want to put that out there.
Yes, thank you for saying that. And when I said stay tuned, I was implying that we're probably, maybe, but more leaning towards probably going to be doing a PLAVE episode at some point relatively soon, right? Not like several months from now.
Probably not.
But so just, we'll talk about their actual concept more if we do a full episode on PLAVE. But yes, thank you for explaining that, just for anybody that might have heard about PLAVE but doesn't really know what they are. And so, we've been giving PLAVE more of a chance, and at this point I'd say we're kind of like, well, why didn't we before, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a person, okay, that...
You're a floating cat head.
I'm a floating cat head named Rhiley with an H, and I like to give things a chance. I'm somebody that's like, why not? Let's check this out. Let me click on this video. Should I watch this? Should I listen to this? And I just say, yeah, I have to see what it's about. And so I was doing that a little bit with PLAVE. And, Wait for Love, the fact that it's called Way, and then the number 4, and then LUV, I'm like, let me just watch this. Let's put this on. And it starts, no offense, but kind of like as a joke sometimes. And then you're like, wait, this is actually kind of good. But then it gets to the point where you're like realizing, you know what? These are just idols, okay? It's just more K-pop. And since BlushCat is a K-pop themed podcast, we can talk about PLAVE and not feel guilty because they are K-pop idols doing the same thing that idols do. So Dash.
Yes. like, long story short, just because you've seen an animated picture and you know of other animated picture idol, quote unquote, they are real people. They are not animation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So Dash is really good. Like I'll just say my opinion on it. It's really good and I really enjoy it. We watched the music video and it was a journey. When it was over, it was kind of like, oh, okay, Plave. Like, I see you. I hear you. It was like cinema, you know? I got the full experience and it ended on a cliffhanger, you know, it was dramatic, it was filled with action, but the song accompanying it was just really like beautiful, but also like, yeah, like you're there for a time. And so I was there for a time and like I'm still here, like I'm sticking around. Like it kind of worked.
Yeah. I just, like, before Dash, when we had dabbled a little here and their other songs, I was like, okay, like, this is kind of interesting, I guess, but it's not really my vibe. And then we were like, well, let's watch Dash. And the way the song starts, I was like, okay, yeah, like, I'm watching, waiting to see what's going to happen, but it's just not really my vibe probably. But then the song changes and it's totally my vibe. It's so good. I honestly I have pretty awesome written down for Dash. The cliffhanger, yeah, like it's just they did such a good job at like utilizing the fact that they look the way that they look to make this music video. Like, everything comes together so nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so like it drew me in so much. And like the song, I think all their songs, but the song, it's like got such a unique sound for K-pop. Like I don't feel like you hear that style of music in K-pop as much. It just, like, everything worked. You just watch it and you're kind of like, wow, like that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And can I just take a moment to appreciate the fact that the song is complete. It's not so short that I feel like I'm missing out on something, and it has so many different elements. It has a bridge and it has so much movement, and yeah, the way that it changes is really nice for completing the whole story. It's like the song itself is very cinematic and it's taking me on this journey, and it's just like it's really good actually. And the fact that they made the song, like the members made the song, is extra good. Like it makes it extra iconic. And so we have to talk about the choreography as well, because the members of PLAVE make their own choreography, which is just like, wow.
Yes, the choreography is so good. And also, like, all of the things that I've been given, like, that have to do with the choreography, I like and I appreciate and I found interesting as well. I mean, the same for the vocals. Like, yeah.
I just think each piece of the choreography was so well thought out. And of course, we saw the thing where they're talking about the ideas behind the moves. So it makes it even better, honestly. And you can tell, you can see it. It's telling a story. It's illustrating a picture, and it's catchy choreography that's good to look at as well. Like, even though they're, you can't see the actual people, it's actually not even that strange because the technology is so, it's able to capture the, like, fluid motion so well that it just looks like good choreography.
Yeah.
And so it's the kind of choreography that's actually right up my alley. Like if a, you know, regular, I guess I have to say, idol group were to have choreography like that, I'd be like, this is so good. So why wouldn't I also say that about Plave? Because they are idols doing choreography. I have to say that about them. I have to acknowledge how good it is.
Yeah. The live stream, they go through and explain the choreography, the dance practice, and then they have like the bloopers at the end, the killing voice that they did recently. Like all of these things just show so well, not just like, you know, their vocal ability, their dancing ability, the choreography, their skills in general, but like how personalized, like their own color is showing through so nicely with everything. And like, don't get me wrong, there can be groups that don't really have a part in making their stuff at all, but still seem to have those vibes. But there can also be groups that seem like basically what they're doing is just something that's going to be doing well, and I don't really feel the connection as much of like the members shining through like with their own personal color, you know. But you really see that with Plave, and I really like that. And I need to give a shout out. So we just talked about IVE, and now we're talking about Plave. I need to give a shout out to the Ray Haman attitude short, because it is so good. I laugh every time. I think it's okay to say that I laugh, right?
I don't know.
Like they're doing a great job, but it's pretty iconic, pretty funny, and I could watch it on repeat.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say about Plave?
No, I guess we can save the rest for the Plave episode.
Okay, I would like to actually just talk about some of their songs on their album, though.
Oh, okay.
Before we move on, I want to acknowledge Chroma Drift, because I really like that song, and it's just so chill, and I like the city pop vibes, and I saw that it was actually inspired by a piece of, as they call it, lost media. That's not actually like a thing anymore, but it was about Plave members.
Ooh.
So it was like going to be like, you know, a web novel, like a graphic novel sort of thing, but it, like, you know, it didn't actually get to continue in its production. So the fact that they still worked with what they had is pretty interesting to me. And the inclusion of ballads on the album is always a positive for me, because it's like, I'm used to, you know, I'm used to ballads. I'm used to Pentagon. Pentagon is very good at giving all sorts of variety. Yes, Stan Pentagon. They're good at giving variety in each album. And so Plave definitely has offered variety with this comeback, because they have all sorts of vibes.
Yeah, Chroma Drift, I want to say that the like music visualizer, whatever you'd call it, like the video that's playing if you go to listen to the song on YouTube, I see those all the time for groups. Theirs is actually good and relevant. Like I was like, bravo, this is perfectly fitting for the song. It does not take away, it does not apply a vibe that I didn't want applied, you know, like it's perfect. But enough about Plave. Like I said, I could talk about them more, but like I'll save it for a time when we need to talk about Plave.
Okay, so let's talk about Even. They had a comeback on February 10th with the title track Hot Mess and the album of the same name, and they promoted the B-side Birthday. And we also have to mention some other B-sides that they did perform. They performed Youth, which was written by Sungwon, and they performed Keshki Korean version, which was written by Keita, and they had a Japanese version that came out a little while back, and there was a music video for that, but he also composed that song. So yes, lots of member involvement sort of unexpectedly on this album. I was surprised to see like Sungwon, Jihoo, Yoonsa, and Keita were all involved. And so Hot Mess, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. I really like the song. I think it's fun. I think it's like, I think it works well for the concept. You know, like I feel the vibes that they want me to feel. I think it's catchy. As far as the music video goes, I think the cherry is crazy. I think the Delulu cake or whatever is also crazy. Like what compelled them to make these choices?
I don't know. Those things definitely shocked me.
Yeah, like it's very maybe that's part of it, you know, that like hot mess, you know, maybe it's like let's just throw everything at this, like make it really crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, you know, like it's not like just because they slapped someone's face on a cherry doesn't mean that it's like, oh god, that music video. The dance, I feel like it gives like theater, like musical vibes, almost like a High School Musical sort of thing. Okay, yes, shiny woof woof. And so overall, yeah, I mean, I've liked some of Even's other songs as well. I know you are going to be, you know, you're the bigger Even fan here. But I've liked some of Even's other songs as well. So I don't know why I am kind of thinking like, oh, this is one of the better Even songs. Because like, I liked Ugly. I liked Batter Love. Like I liked those ones as well. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't know how to explain how I feel differently about this one than I do about those ones.
Okay.
But I do like it. I think it's nice and fun. It's a good time.
All right. Well, if it's a good time for a non-ENBA, you can only imagine how much of a good time it is for somebody who is an ENBA, which is an Even fan if you're not familiar. I think it's really good. I'm very happy with this comeback once again from Even. They keep delivering, and I'm going to keep sticking around because I have nothing bad to say. I accept the cherry. That was too much for me. But I have to start at the beginning. Or like, let me start at the concept photos, because the concept photos, I was a little concerned. And when I found out that the title track was called Hot Mess, I was a little concerned because I was starting to think NCT Dream Hot Sauce.
Ooh.
And I was like, uh-oh, what are we going to be having here? What's Even going to be delivering this time? And I was seeing, you know, the sewing version, like out on the farm sort of sewing. Like, I think that's what that version of the concept photos was called. And I was like, this is kind of funny. And I think it's supposed to be a little funny, but I don't know what I'm going to be getting. I don't think this is exactly my vibe, but hey, I like Even, so I'll trust that this will be something that I enjoy. But I was getting concerned. The other concept photos, though, they were pretty good. Like, I liked all the color that was happening and the color with the logo for Hot Mess and stuff like that. I was like, okay, it still has potential to be something aesthetically that I like. But then thinking once again to Hot Sauce by NCT Dream, they had concept photos that were a little too much for me, but then they had ones that I was okay with. And so I was like, I don't know. And so you might know me as a Dreams In, but you might not know that when Hot Sauce came out, I was like, oh no. Like, Hot Sauce, I have learned to accept, but at first I was like, it was just so far from my aesthetic preference that I just could not get behind it. So it took me a long time to get there, but luckily they had the repackage with Hello Future like right after that. So I was kind of, I was still there. It wasn't enough to make me be like, all right. No. But and yeah, I was there for NCT Dream a long time before Hot Sauce. I'm not saying that's the first thing that I ever saw. But anyway, Hot Mess proved to be nothing like Hot Sauce, and so I had nothing to worry about. It is kind of like Whisper by the boys, might I say, in terms of music video and the fun, but sort of like weird fun element that it has. Like all the fuzzy stuff and the color palette. And the color palette is actually not like Whisper, but going back to NCT Dream again, it is like their studio chum for ISTJ. No, for Smoothie. Yeah, Smoothie's the one with the purple and green. And I said I would like to see more purple and green. And Even is delivering that. Thank you, Even.
They must be Meowers.
They must be Meowers, and they must be NCT Dream fans. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Hot Mess is really good. I have nothing bad to say about it. The song is really enjoyable. I like the way that it starts with the whistle and their little marching, and the choreography is really, really good. And the song itself, once again, really, really good. Their live performances, shout out to Even for always making it a good time, always giving us vocals, always giving us stage presence. Thank you. Groups that give me stage presence, they like should be, right? It's kind of sad that it's not really like expected in my mind, but I want to extra acknowledge that. And they did get a win on Music Bank, which I'm thankful for, because I'm pretty sure Batter Love never got a win, and I really liked Batter Love, and so I was a little disappointed. But I'm glad to see that they have earned that win, and their encore stage was really, really good. The styling, I really like it. They have the hats and stuff that are very trendy, very in. We've been seeing them for a while now. But they have twisted it a little bit. It fits for their concept. It's not like they just put them on because it's trendy. It's
generic trendy.
Yeah. There's a definite stage dive if you're familiar with the game Style Savvy. There's a stage dive look to a lot of the performances, like the styling for the performances, and I'm here for that. I think it looks really good because all of the styling that I have seen for every member is very cohesive, but I like that they're working with different colors. They did that for Batter Love as well, and so I'm appreciating that. I think it's a solid job all around. Now for Birthday. What do you have to say about Birthday?
This maybe seems a little lacking. I don't feel like I have much to say, but I have that it's nice. And it reminds me of something. So many of the songs lately remind me of things. And half of them are sampled, half of them are plagiarism, and the other half I think just genuinely are like, oh, that reminds me of something. And I think it reminds me of something. I feel like it's a girl group song possibly, but I have no clue what.
I totally know what you mean. It reminds me of something too. I haven't been able to find out what it is though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will agree and say it's nice, but more. Of course.
Super nice.
Super nice. I like Birthday. I am glad that they have promoted it. I'm glad that they decided to do another one like I Love You. because it obviously is similar to that. And when I saw the choreography for this one, like Hot Mess and Birthday have such good choreography to me. I saw the choreography for Birthday and I was like, this is just so fun. Like, it's so cute. Like, you know, I Love You is like cute and fun. Birthday is cute and fun. Like, the moves are so different, but it's not something that repulses me because it's like taking it too far. And it's like, this doesn't look like good choreography anymore. It looks like you were trying too hard to make something different and it just doesn't fit anymore. No, it's not like that. It's like, ooh, these moves are actually fresh and don't seem recycled.
I was just going to say refreshing.
Yeah. And I really like the parts when like Yoonsa does it and Jihoon does it. Like, they break away from the group and they go way out to the side and they're dancing, and then, like, you know, they return to the group. And I always like moments like that, so I have to shout it out. And yeah, I guess that's like baseline what I have to say, but I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. I do have to say stuff about the other songs on the album though, just a little bit more, because I really like the album. Of course, it's really, really, really good. I was really pleased. I was like so glad that they've given me more songs that I enjoy, and I just think Even is doing really good, and so I wish that they would get some more opportunities and like a little bit more recognition as like a new group that is doing a good job. Like, they're doing a good job. And Love Like That is probably my favorite one on the album. That's the one that Yoonsa wrote lyrics for, so shout out to that song because it's really good. And when they performed Youth at the showcase, man, I almost cried, you guys. I almost cried. I was a little bit. Like, songs about youth and that are called youth or that have that like refreshing sort of vibe to them, they really just get me. And so, like, you know, they were like singing it. Someone was singing his heart out and he wrote the song, so it was like extra emotional. Like, not to get too emo, but like, whew, I was almost there.
I will say I do have as a note for Love Like That, and you guys have to remember, most of the time with B-sides, I only have listened to them one time before we do the episode. But for Love Like That, I have written down, I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Well, we'll move on, I guess, and we're going to talk about Chungha. She had a comeback with the title track Stress. However, she is going to be doing a double title situation, and the other title track is supposed to be Thanks for the Memories, but she hasn't promoted it yet. There's nothing for that other than the song. And she also has, like, you know, this is an EP that she released, so there's more songs than just the two or just one this time. So I guess I'll start and talk about Stress, and I'll say I like it. I do. I've been listening to it frequently. I am glad that she has done another song in this style because it's the Chungha print, and she's doing it once again. And I like the music video. There are like some things that I don't really like about it, and the styling in the music video isn't my favorite, but I like it. I think it was well done, similar to IVE, and this is a one with the through line. The office concept is the through line that's happening lately, and so it was kind of like, okay, I just saw this in a way. Like, IVE attitude was kind of literally just giving me this concept, these vibes, but whatever, you know, I'll take it easy, no stress. Like, I won't get bent out of shape over this, but I need to say that because the through lines in K-pop are like getting ridiculous.
They are being there is a bit of a problem.
Yeah. But I think it was a well-made music video. There are a lot of extras once again, but it actually doesn't bother me in this case. I kind of like when extras are utilized in the way that they are in this music video. It's sort of a model, like model-esque sort of energy, and it reminds me of Shiny, One of One. If you're familiar with that music video, it's even like the filter over the music video reminds me, or like, you know, the filter over Chungha Stress, I should say, reminds me of Shiny, One of One, and the way that the people are used. I think it's I don't know, like I like the way that the extras in the music video have been put to use.
Okay. This is why discussions like this are so nice and valuable. Because sometimes, like, I try to think about something and I, like, can come to a certain level of, like, understanding of why I want to say what I want to say or something like that. But then I'll hear you talk about something and it'll help me to realize more than I did before. So I think it's so interesting because I feel like what you're saying, I get what you're saying, and I think that, like, to a degree I agree with you with some of the people that are extras, but then some of the people I feel like are being used in a different way, and I'm realizing what way they're being used in and why I don't, or like that I don't like that across many music videos. And it's the comical sort of extra.
Yeah.
You know, the extras that it's like cut to them and they're like, whoa, you know, and they're like it's almost slow motion sometimes, like their reactions. I feel like that type of extra is what I always think, oh, I don't like it when there are a lot of extras in music videos. But I think I'm realizing it's the comical extra that I don't like most of the time.
I don't like that either. Yeah.
And so this music video, it has a little bit of that. But there is other extras that are being used in other ways as well. So yeah, I was not really a fan of the music video, but I get what you're saying, like with this and with Attitude, how it's not that the music videos are bad at all. Like they're certainly not poorly made or like poorly, the concept is perfectly fine for the song and fitting. It's just not my style. So I much prefer the song without the music video, like just if I see the dance performance or something like that, or just listen to the song. I think it's pretty good. It does remind me of Sparkling, whatever that Chungha song is.
Yeah, okay.
I think it has it's similar.
You said that about, was it just another Chungha song?
I don't know, but this one really does, because the Sparkling goes and like she goes like they both have like a it's been so long since I've heard the other one, but they both have like a, like the soda can opening is like in this song, but as like a refreshing sigh of relief or something. Like they have the same thing. Trust me.
Okay.
But yeah, so, you know, as someone who in general doesn't like Chungha's vibe, I'm saying that in the nicest way. I'm saying that as in, like, you know, it's like a Taemin thing. It's like, I get that she's always absolutely popping off, but it's just like, I don't really care.
Okay.
It's that vibe.
Okay.
So coming from someone like that, I think this one's pretty good. Like this one and Sparkling.
I don't remember what it's called, to be honest. I think it's called Sparkling. I don't remember.
Well, everyone knows which one I'm talking about. Those two are probably my top Chungha songs. So like for it to sound like that one, like this and that are the favorite. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Okay. Well,
and of course they're stressed. They're doing yoga in denim. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, yeah, Stress is really good. That's the vibe that I like. That's the vibe. No, Stress is bad, but Stress by Chungha is really good. That's the vibe that I really like from Chungha. And also, shout out to all the backup dancers. They're doing really good. I like that there are, like, you know, some of the known backup dancers that are there. And, like, it's really good. And so the album, I listened to that, and I do unfortunately have to say that her title track, To Be, Thanks for the Memories, is not one that I added to my playlist when I heard the album. I didn't remember the other one that was a planned title track. And so when I went back to check and I found out it was that, and I was like, oh, I didn't actually even add that one to my playlist. I was a little bit like, you know, I felt kind of bad. But it's just not a vibe that I really prefer. I've listened to the song more to try to see if it would grow on me, and it's still just, it's not really something that I care about listening to. I don't think it's the most horrible thing in the world or something, but I'll have to wait and see what it's turned into, like if it transforms at all with a performance or the music video or something. But I definitely prefer the vibes of Stress, the song.
Yeah, I agree. When I heard the other one, I was surprised. I was like, oh, this is the other title track? I definitely was surprised as well.
Yeah. I don't think, though, that she needs to be locked into the vibe of Stress or, you know, I'm ready.
Oh, like the Chungha print.
Yeah. I don't think she needs to be locked into that. So I think it's kind of good that she's having such a different vibe for a different title track. But I would have preferred if Salty, her B-side with Sunmi, was the other promoted thing, because I really like this song, and it would have been so iconic if there was a music video and a performance for it, because I think it's just so good. And it is an English song, but it's a well-made one. Like, it's good. It's enjoyable to me.
I was surprised at how much English and like all English songs there were on this album. The other song that I have a note for is actually Salty.
Ooh.
I actually like it.
Oh no! Everybody, write it down. Mark your calendars. This is the day. This is the day.
I was very surprised, and I think that their voices go really well together.
They do. Two queens coming together.
I think it helps that to a degree I'm a little more familiar with Sunmi's voice than I used to be. And also, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think it also helps that I was not having a visual element. And I was just listening to the song.
It's like it makes a visual for you. Like the song, like
it's very like emotive or something. Like
I was gonna say it evokes strong imagery in my mind.
Yeah, like it's very, I don't know how to describe it. Okay. It's just that it's not like flat. Like it's very expressive, maybe.
Yeah, their emotions get exercise. That's what they say in the song. Yeah, so that was good. I really like that B-side, and that's all that we're gonna say about Chungha. Right?
Yeah.
You ready to move on? Okay. We're going to talk about ONF. ONF has the title track, The Stranger, and they promoted the B-side, Night Tale. So, why don't you begin?
The very first thing that I thought immediately was, how do they always make everything sound like an ONF song? Like, literally, like...
You can't deny.
You can't deny it. It's got this detective movie, like 80s vibe to it.
Does it now?
Yes, it does. And I almost want to talk about this one and Night Tale together. Can I do that?
Yes,
or is that
go
terrible?
ahead,
Okay. Because Nighttale even more so, I feel like has those vibes, and it has like a Michael Jackson vibe and influence to it as well. So very
does it now?
80s, yes. So overall, I thought that, and honestly throughout their album, that it was unique, diverse. It had a lot of vocal color to it. And back to The Stranger, I like the dance part when the music stops. That part's pretty cool. But yeah, so overall, I was just thinking like, do I like it as much? I think I like Nighttale more than The Stranger. But The Stranger as their title track, I was like, do I like this as much as I just liked Beautiful Monster?
By My Monster.
By My Monster? What is Beautiful Monster?
Stacy?
Oh, yeah, By My Monster. I think I still like that one more, coming from someone who has never like added any ONF songs. I like that one more, but it's quality, you know, it's quality, and I liked the uniqueness. I liked that it was something that was like had a strong vibe, but was fresh. Even though, you know, it is referencing a sound, like a sound that has already existed,
Right?
But like in K-pop, it was fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say I have like I have something to say about one of the other songs, but you can go, I guess.
Okay. If you are listening to this episode, Meowers, and you're wondering why I'm reacting like that, just stay tuned for the ZB1 section and you'll see why. Nothing against ONF or ZB1.
Of course.
Obviously not. But okay, so The Stranger, of course, as somebody who likes ONF's title tracks, I'm having another good moment here. Like, this is another good one because it is very much like many of their other title tracks, but it is still different. It's transformed, but the sound is just, it's still there. And yeah, I don't know how they do it, but they do. And so yeah, it's a good time. Ready action, passion and all that good stuff. Wyatt, shout out to Wyatt. His parts are really enjoyable. And yeah, I guess I don't have a lot to say, but I will say Nighttale. Well, I can't. I'll jump back to ONF when we talk about ZB1. But Nighttale I do enjoy as well. I thought it was good. Yuto's dance break. Can I just say, like, did you see that? Yuto's dance break?
I saw it, but I don't remember.
I was like, whoa. Here we go. Like, let's go. Yeah. So it was good.
Okay, cool. Can I say that Good Place was such a adventure, such a roller coaster for me sound wise hearing it, because it gives like club vibes, but also like flute bard vibes. But also like settles into sort of a video game arcade racing vibes. Like it was that, whoa.
Love Flute Bard. Love that. So okay, I don't remember that song, to be honest. I only heard the other songs on the album once, but I'll go back and listen to it.
Oh, you'll hear it. But yeah, overall their album, like I just really appreciated the vocal color. Like that's the best way for me to put it, is I was really like, wow, this seems very, it's kind of like giving Plave in the same way that it's like, you know, it seems like I know who they are, you know. I know who ONF is listening to this. Definitely.
And so like I'm not super into ONF, but like I am more of just a title track. A Fuse.
Sorry, a Fuse. You can really tell.
Right. But yeah, I'm more of a title track listener with ONF, but I appreciate that, like you just said, that they do have a very distinct vibe, and they're still doing that. They're still coming out here being ONF.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready to talk about ZEROBASEONE?
Yes, and I know it's Fuse, okay? Obviously it's Fuse, because that makes so much sense. On and off Fuse. I don't know why I said Muse. ZB1. I'm ready. I'm ready, but I don't know if you guys are ready.
Okay. If you want to hear our thoughts on Dr. Doctor, their pre-release, We talked about that in the January K-pop comebacks episode.
Loved it.
We're not going to be talking about it again today. Yes, we loved it. Dr. Doctor is really good, but we discussed it then. We're not discussing it now. Go listen to the other episode. Thank you. Blue, that's their title track. Blue Paradise, that's their album. I'll start by talking about Blue. I tried something different with ZB1 this time around. I listened to the song before I watched the music video.
Oh, interesting.
And immediately I was like, oh, okay, back to Zero bass vibes. I'm really gonna like this one. And then about 30 seconds in, I remembered, wait, this is the title track. And I was just so relieved because I was like, okay, good so bad vibes again. This is the kind of vibe that I really like. And I really like ZB1 music, I do, but Good So Bad is definitely my favorite title track, and so the fact that they have this sound again is a win. And obviously Kenzie is like, working on it again, so I think that was a really smart choice. And so I really like it. I love how refreshing it is, and I love the use of props. Like, I love that props are making a comeback if we're talking about choreography. Sorry, I kind of just jumped right from the song to the choreography. But, Minnie just had a cloth blindfold moment, and now ZB1 with, like, the cloth sail sort of reminiscent effect. I'm wondering if they'll do it with if they'll do every performance with the cloths or just some of them, like Minnie. I was kind of like, it was a little bit of like a missed point that she didn't have the blindfold for all of the stages, but I was like, I understand there's a lot of room for error with that. So it'll be interesting to see how many times they use the cloths for Blue. And so yeah, that was like, the song and the performance, both really good. However, I am kind of like, and by kind of I mean a lot, like, where is Ricky and where is Taeray, honestly? Like, I feel like they don't have that much, like, spotlight in this title track this time around. But, yeah, other than that, really good. I love the vibes, totally here for it. Then I watched the music video and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the music video. Let's see. Will this be their time? Well, Dr. Doctor, let me just say, we have to go back in case you didn't listen to the January comebacks episode. I did say I think that was their best music video so far. So that one, it was like, the outlook was better.
Yes.
This music video,
Blue Skies Ahead.
Blue, yes.
Wink, wink.
Blue, I definitely think is now also one of their best. Like, I don't know if Dr. Doctor is better, but I think Blue is like, it's a fine music video. It's fine. Like, way, way better than Feel the Pop or a lot of their other ones. But I'm not like, yeah, this is like perfect, there's no flaws, but I'm like, yeah, this is like fine. And I will admit that, like Youth by EVNNE, the music video almost got me near the end. Like, the music video, watching it, I was like getting a little bit like when they were doing something. They were like, it was like they were showing a lot of pictures. And like the song is just so like, oh, like, the vibe that the song has. So I almost was getting a little bit emotional with that music video. Yeah. So what did you think?
Okay.
Zeros versus non-zeros.
I did not particularly care for this one. Is it better if I say it in a British accent so people forget that it's me who's talking?
Yeah.
I'll say the whole thing. Wow. Okay. Thank God you said what you said, because now I can say whatever I want. And they can't like dislike the episode or like totally come for us, right? Because you loved it. You know, you were gonna cry. So this is fine. This is fine. I just, first of all, it sounds like something to me. And because you were bringing up their other song, maybe it just sounds like one of their other songs. It sounds like something. It sounds so much like something, and I can't stand how much it sounds like something, but I don't know what. It sounds terrible, I know, but
I thought you were saying the song sounds terrible.
no. The song
is, do you really hate it that much?
The song is perfectly fine. I do not dislike the song. Some of ZB1's other title tracks, like overall, I think ZB1 always makes good music. Some of their other title tracks, I'm like, not my favorite title track. This one, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just that I'm getting a little tired. That's what I was going to say. Is like, it sounds terrible for me to say this, but like, I'm just getting a little tired and kind of don't really care, because sometimes they just deliver things like this that to me seem just like, I don't know, too generic. Like, you know how I was just talking about those other groups that I thought had a lot of vocal color, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about vocal color as in like a lot of diversity in vocal tones and stuff, ZB1 obviously has that. And they're very talented at the singing. But I don't get, the only reason that I get ZB1 from them is because they've been giving me this vibe. Like, this is the vibe that was assigned to them, and so it's the vibe that they've been delivering. So I get that it's their vibe because of that, but I don't like feel like I'm getting, it's like what I just said about ONF, and then I say, I don't think I could say that about ZB1, where like I feel like I know them by listening to this song. Like, this song feels like a song that anyone could sing, that anyone could do. And because it sounds familiar to me, it feels like someone else already did it. So it's like, I'm tired because I wish that I got something different from ZB1.
Okay. That makes sense to me. It makes sense. I think your opinion is valid. I do agree that it does sound very familiar, as do, I think, actually all of the songs on their album. But I can't help but really liking the vibe. Like, and I also definitely agree that, like, not only is it familiar, but also they don't have like a distinct vibe other than, this is the vibe that they've been given. So it's like, this is kind of what I expect, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like something that's their own.
Yes. Like, I feel like I could see them doing so many other things and vibes that would be like more distinct, and like I feel like I would get more out of it. Like, I want to get more out of it because I like them and I think that they're really good. But yeah, like, I actually felt like I liked every other song on the album more than the title track.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just two different opinions here. That's okay. But I really like Blue. I think it's really good. I can't wait until they like promote it. I did see their showcase performance of it and I thought it was good, but I want to see more. I'm hoping for better styling because that is where it was lacking for me. Like, the styling, I was not feeling it.
I tried to click into the showcase stuff and then I clicked right back out because I saw they had jeans on again. And like, I was like, this is so, like, not that I don't, jeans are fine, but like the jeans with the other type of top, like that ZB1 has been doing like since debut, I'm just so tired of it. You know, once again, it's like, I just feel like too often their stuff is too similar that I've grown tired.
Yeah. And so as we're recording this, they haven't had anything other than the showcase or the studio CHUNG yet. So they haven't actually promoted it. So just in case you're wondering, well, they did perform it now. Not when we recorded this. And before we talk about their other songs, just overall, I want to give a shout out before I forget to Jiyoung, Matthew, and Ganuk, because they're all doing great. I think they're getting a lot more moments this time around.
Yes, I do like to see everyone being able to get their moments, because sometimes, like you were just saying about Ricky and who else did you say? Oh, Taeray. Yeah, sometimes I feel like some people don't get their moments. So when they do get their moments, we got to shout it out, because this is the type of group that, like, because it's put together on a competition show like this, it's like everyone is so top tier that gets put in it. You know, it's like a group of top tier people. There's no reason for some of them to not be getting a moment, you know, because sometimes I'm always for like, I am a advocate. That seems like the wrong word, but I'm always here to be like, you know what, everyone doesn't need equal distribution.
Oh yeah.
Some people are pulling their weight in different areas, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But with a group like ZB1, I feel like for some people to get like almost nothing doesn't make sense sometimes.
I would like to see more Zhonghao though, because I do think he deserves that as like, you know. Well, anyway.
Absolutely, 100%.
Devil Game. Should we talk about Devil Game now?
We're going to have to talk about it at some point.
Okay. All right. So Devil Game is a B-side, and it seems like they might do some promo with this because they also performed it already. And so we can't not talk about it. We have to acknowledge the unbelievable similarities with Devil Game and multiple songs.
Yeah. So like on the lesser side of things, I heard Devil Game and I was like, you know, I do like the song. Good song. But at the same time, did I not just hear this vibe with Night Tale and or ONF's title track? Like, what's going on? How did they release these songs this close together and they both chose this exact same 80s detective movie vibe? Like, how did that happen? And I thought that was like, come on guys, this isn't cool. And once again, not guys as in ZB1. I know that it's not them that was doing this, but it was like guys in the music industry that somehow must have known the other people were releasing that song, and so you copied it. Like, I don't know. That is not an accusation. That is just like what my mind was like. How did this happen?
Yeah.
But it gets worse.
It gets so much worse. But once again, this is nothing against ZEROBASEONE members, ONF members, or 10 from Wavy NCT. I don't know if you're familiar with 10's song Dangerous, but we did talk about his album last year when it was released. This was not his title track, but 10's Dangerous and ZEROBASEONE Devil Game are too similar for my liking. They are made by completely different teams of people, so I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I tried to look up to see if, you know, other than that general obvious vibe that is, of course, like, yes, we know sampling does exist. We know that genres exist and, like, there will be certain, you know, certain sounds
like
that are
music
just
trope almost.
Yeah, like it's just a sound that is, you know, that's how you convey this thing by using this sound. Like,
right,
we get that, but it's not only the instrumentals and like the song itself, but the vocals and particularly the way the song starts is just, it's so similar. And so I tried to see, is it sampling something? I couldn't find that it was sampling anything like specific other than there might just be like, you know, a sound pack that they picked from for the music. But I had to look up to see what the public thought. And people think that it sounds similar, but it didn't seem like anybody really cared. And I'm not saying, oh, this needs to be an issue, but like, I'm just saying I was shocked that people weren't like, whoa, these songs sound so similar.
Yeah.
It sounded so similar to Dangerous that I wasn't even thinking about Nighttale and The Stranger at first, but then I heard Devil Game more and I heard The Stranger more, and I was like, wait a minute, they're like, these have the same vibe. And then Nighttale, like, even more than The Stranger, and I'm like, ugh, they just both literally just came out within days of each other.
Yeah.
And so it's just why, like, we have the Office through line, and then we have this, like, spy 80s movie sort of vibe happening. Why are they happening so close together? Why does this have to keep happening in K-pop?
Yeah, like it's like when Kepler had Giddy and then Le Sserafim say Giddy in their song. It's like, who uses that word?
Yeah.
I don't know how this thing comes to be. And I know that in K-pop, it's not necessarily always as bad or as disliked to, like, you know, be on a trend to, like, do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, I feel like this is just, like, I just was praising ONF for having something different and unique, and then now magically out of nowhere ZB1's got a song on their album that's the exact same vibe. Like, it's just, to me, it's just awkward at the very least.
Yeah.
Like, I would be upset.
Yeah.
If I was involved in that. Whether my song came out first or came out second. Like, if I didn't know the other group's song that they were releasing had that same sound, I would be upset. And the fact
that they're both, like, doing more than, whether it's, like, going to be a full promotion with Devil Game or it's just going to be like, well, it is still a song that has choreography. Like, the fact that they're both promoted songs makes it even worse.
Yeah.
But people might be listening and they might be thinking it's not that serious, or it's like, oh, lighten up, they're good songs, aren't they? And, like, yes, like, sure, like, we're not trying to make it, like, such a serious issue or anything like that, but it's like, it's kind of just getting ridiculous at this point. That's all we're saying. We're not trying to be Debbie Downers. We're not trying to be too serious or something. So please don't get mad at us. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, Devil Game is a good song. Yeah. Good song. I do like the performance aspect of it better than, I'll say, Kill the Romeo's performance, because I think that they're very similar. And so if they perform it more, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
But yeah, really, if you listen to Devil Game, like the beginning, and then you listen to Dangerous by 10, like, my jaw dropped.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let's just talk about their other songs, because you said you enjoyed their other songs. Something interesting is that we have unit songs, and didn't we just talk about that? Like, I feel like we might have. I had to remind you that 101 did do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so for some reason we mentioned that with ZB1.
Because I wanted Gunnock Taeray.
That didn't happen, unfortunately. But there are unit songs on the album. So Out of Love is the Jiyoung Jonghao Gyubin unit. Step Back is Ricky Gunnock Yujin. Cruel is Hanbin Matthew Taeray. So I'll just say, I don't have anything specific to say, but I liked the album. I thought it was good. All the songs are good. I think probably, I don't know what one out of those 3 unit ones is my favorite. Maybe Out of Love. I've heard the album a couple times, even though it literally just came out. But Blue and Doctor Doctor, I think, are my 2 favorite from the album. So, like, I think they made a good decision with the ones that they promoted. But the other thing generally about the album is that I don't really feel like it was the best time to release it. Blue is very, like,
yeah, it feels summery.
It feels summery, and so it's kind of strange. And also, I don't really feel like the other songs fit with it. Like, so I can get why you'd say that you like all the other ones more than the title, because I think the title is so different from all of the other ones, and I almost feel like this, like, and obviously Blue Paradise, Cinema Paradise, like, they're relevant to each other and relating to each other, but I feel like these ones are so movie-like, and I did think that about the songs on Cinema Paradise. They had, like, they were making me think of things that were like movies or shows, but on Blue Paradise, the songs even more so have like a cinematic vibe to me. So I think they kind of would have fit better on an album that was released at that time of year with that theme. But that's just my opinion.
I can see that. Yeah, I really like Doctor Doctor. I like Devil Game. Yeah, I don't remember the songs enough. I've only heard them all once. All I know is that I liked all of them, and yeah, they were all better to me than the title track. But I think, yeah, everybody did a good job, and I agree with like all of the things you were saying about the album.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for ZB1. Okay. Yeah. So like we said, they haven't promoted yet, so we'll have to stay tuned, but I am looking forward to it in general. Lastly, we're going to just very briefly touch on the new SM girl group, Hearts to Hearts. They just debuted. They have 2 songs. Their title track is called The Chase. And so really, I'll just get my thoughts out of the way, just put them out there right now. I'll say I do think this is a good debut. I think it's very SM. I didn't know what to expect from a new girl group. I didn't know what the theme would be like. But I'd say in terms of choreography, I'd say it's aespa meets Cat's Eye. And in terms of sound and vibes, I think it's lightsome with a little FX sprinkled in. So, like I said, very SM with the aespa and FX vibes. And I also just can't help but feel like a lot of the choreography moves are familiar, and I feel like there is, like we talked about, there's trendy sounds and trendy themes. There's even trendy choreography, so I don't think that they escaped that, but I think it's catchy, and I think there's nothing really wrong with it. And I'm sure it'll be one of those ones that like everybody does the challenge for, stuff like that.
Okay. I will say that I have not been having a good time with like this generation of the newer generation of girl groups in general. I think that, you know, you're saying these trends and these other things. There's also trends in visuals and faces, and it's overdone. Okay. I'm sick of it. Okay. I'm sick of the visual trend that's going with the girl groups. Why do they all have to try and look exactly the same? Just saying. It's not all the members, but it's just like they want to have like the people that like look a certain vibe. And I also don't like their name. But as far as the song goes, I was actually like, well, you know, I don't mind this song. I was surprised.
Okay.
It's so, that's
all
the other
right.
thing is I don't often like groups at debut. You guys have to remember this about me. So like my opinion is always going to be a little more like I'm on guard a little bit. You know, I'm like, I'm not going to just praise you right from the start. I don't know you, right?
Yeah.
So this is just like one little blip of what they've got so far. I don't know. We might have the next comeback. Like I might be raving about them.
Yeah. And also, I don't know the exact ages of these people, but I am against people being like debuted so young. So if this group does have like very young members, I am against that. There is one girl, or like there's at least one girl that looks very young, but I don't know, at least their concept seemed age appropriate.
Yes, I forgot. I did want to check that because I always am hesitant nowadays because when they look so young. And I think I remembered seeing like there was like a short or something that was showing up when I was going to search for their music video that was starting to say their age or something. I think one of them is like 15, but I meant to check all of them. So yeah, that annoys me. And I do think though that yeah, at least the concept was okay. Like even if they are young, I wasn't like, what are they doing? You know? So it seems like besides me not feeling like their concept of who they picked has a very unique vibe to it, that's really the only issue that I'm having so far. Otherwise, I feel like they could maybe be a fine group for me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the end. We're done. Like we said, you know, it was quality over quantity this time. We didn't know how much we had to say, but I guess we had a lot to say. So you should check out all of these comebacks for yourself, and you can leave a comment and let us know which ones are your favorite. And remember to check out the January comebacks episode so you can hear our thoughts on some of the pre-releases from these groups that we didn't talk about in this episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can like the video, and also please remember to subscribe to the BlushCat channel on YouTube and turn on notifications.
As always, please remember that we are just sharing our opinions in our own space here on the internet, and we are not trying to spread any negativity to anyone, and it's all said with good intentions.
Yeah, we wouldn't be talking about it if we actually really despised anything or whatnot. Like, these are all songs that I have been listening to a lot, and you can follow BlushCat on social media and check out the Meower Monthly when that happens at the end of the month to see how much I've been listening to these songs. So please just, you know, aesthetics differ. Like, aesthetic preference differs from person to person. Maybe we don't like something now and we will in the future. Maybe we like something now and we won't in the future. Who knows? So, regardless, thank you for listening, and remember to stay meowing. This has been Rhiley
and me. Bye.
Meow 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 meow.